Did you know couples who can accurately read each other's emotions are far more likely to stay together long term? Psychologists call it empathic accuracy, and it's one of the strongest predictors of relationship quality. I've been married for 14 years as an INFJ, the rarest personality type. And let me tell you, empathic accuracy has been the difference between connection and collapse in my marriage. In this video, I'm sharing 12 paradoxes of loving an INFJ. Why we crave both closeness and solitude, why vague apologies don't work, and the tiny rituals that can turn conflict into deeper trust. This isn't a list to laugh at or judge. It's a guide. If you're an INFJ, you'll feel seen. If you love one, you'll finally get language for what's been confusing. I'll start with stories from my marriage, explain the INFJ wiring behind them, and share the scripts and fixes we use. And by the end, you'll have a playbook for making your INFJ relationships not just survive, but thrive. Let's dive in. Dynamic 1, to future grief. In our marriage, this one showed up early. I'd be sitting with my husband at our favorite Saturday cozy spot, and out of nowhere, I'd say, if we ever move, I'm really going to miss this place. And he'd give me that look like, what are you talking about? We're not moving. Here's the INFJ thing. Our brains don't live only in the present. My intuition is constantly running simulations, playing out possible futures. And my empathy, it ties those futures to people and places that mean something to me. So to me, it felt real. To him, though, it sounded like I was being negative or borrowing problems that didn't exist yet. What finally shifted it was when he stopped saying, just focus on now, and instead started asking, okay, what part of this do you want to keep sacred no matter what? Dynamic 2, the invisible labor ledge. For years, I kept track of all the invisible details, birthdays, moods, who needed a check-in, and when he didn't notice, resentment. That hit every layer. I felt understood, valued, and reassured. If you love an INFJ, skip vague promises. Give us meaning and a plan. If you've ever felt your INFJ partner keeping score on things you didn't even know you were dropping, this is probably why. Dynamic 3, precision requests. This one almost drove us nuts in the first couple years of our marriage. My husband would do something that hurt me, usually unintentionally. And when we'd talk it out, he'd say, sorry, I'll do better. And on the surface, that sounds fine, right? But inside, my INFJ brain was screaming, better how? Better when? What does better even mean? Here's why. INFJs don't just need an apology. We need to know the meaning behind it and the specific change that's coming. My intuition is looking for patterns, and my logical side is checking for alignment. A vague sorry feels like a Band-Aid. The moment things turned around was when he tried something different. Instead of I'll do better, he said, I see how being late made you feel unimportant. Next time, I'll text you if I'm running behind. That landed. I felt seen, I felt cared for, and most importantly, I felt like there was a plan. If you love an INFJ, that's the key. Don't just say you'll do better. Tell us what you'll do differently. That little shift can turn a cycle of repeat arguments into actual repair. Dynamic 4, crash days. After a big social weekend, I'd go quiet, not upset, just offline. At first, my husband thought I was mad at him, but here's the INFJ reality. Our weakest function is sensing, so overstimulation fries us. We need a full system reboot. Now we pre-plan buffer days. He'll say, Sunday stays low-key. If plans change, we'll trade for another quiet block. That one agreement turned misunderstandings into relief for both of us. Dynamic 5, signal drop mode. Sometimes mid-conversation, my eyes drift and I fall silent. To him, it looked like I checked out. In reality, I was buffering. INFJs pause because intuition is sorting meaning and empathy is recalibrating how to respond. Silence isn't rejection. It's processing. We named it. Now I just say, signal drop. Give me a minute to organize my thought. He answers, got it, I'll hold space. That little ritual turned frustration into teamwork. And here's the thing, what looks like distance is usually just processing. The real danger is when you misinterpret it as rejection. Dynamic 6, idealism and the crash. I can pedestal fast. He's perfect. He's everything. Then real life happens and I tumble into disappointment. That's INFJ idealism. Intuition paints perfect pictures, empathy attaches them to people, but reality never matches the model. Our fix? A monthly expectation check. We literally ask, what expectations did we quietly set this month? Naming it keeps us grounded and saves us from the whiplash of idealizing, then crashing. Dynamic 7, Privacy isn't distance. I keep journals, locked notes, whole thought trails he doesn't see. Early on, he worried I was shutting him out, but really, I just needed space to work through my thoughts. INFJs process privately first. Sharing too early can scramble the insight. Now I give him a timeline. I'll share what I'm processing by Saturday. Ask me if I forget. That way, he gets inclusion and I get space to incubate. Dynamic 8. Depth, first love language. Small talk drains me. But ask me one deep question and I'll light up. That's the INFJ love language, meaning over volume. A few rich moments beat hours of chatter. We created depth dates. One big question plus one small ritual like tea or a walk. His go-to question, what did this week mean to you? Those moments feed my soul more than any grand gesture. Dynamic 9. Repair needs to be slow and specific. This one nearly broke us. After a fight, he'd say, "We're fine now, right?" And I'd freeze inside. INFJs can't accept vague repair. We need impact, meaning, and a micro change. Otherwise, the hurt lingers. Now he says, "When I canceled, it signaled you weren't a priority. Next time, I'll propose a new date in the same message." One sentence like that heals faster than a dozen "we're fines." If you've ever been in that cycle of repeating the same fights, you need this. Dynamic 10. Boundaries are hard. I'll say yes to too much and then collapse under the weight. Meanwhile, the things I actually need, I won't ask for them. That's INFJ boundary ambivalence. Empathy says yes, but our own needs go silent. Our fix is a weekly check-in. He asks, "What's the one no you want me to back this week?" Having my no protected feels like oxygen. Dynamic 11. Trust builds like interest. For me, trust was painfully slow at first, but once I saw consistency, it snowballed. That's INFJs, intuition tracks patterns, empathy bonds when reliability is proven. He started naming the deposits. When you followed through yesterday, that was a trust deposit, I noticed. Little consistencies spoken out loud made trust compound. And finally, Dynamic 12. Humor as a relief valve. I can spiral serious, everything becomes meaning. He learned the best reset isn't logic, it's humor. Now if we're too heavy, he'll say, "We've entered existential weather." We laugh, we reset, then keep going. For INFJs, humor doesn't kill depth. It preserves it by giving us oxygen to keep going. Those 12 paradoxes are the heart of it. But here's the practical layer. The systems we've built over 14 years that keep us sane. Environment. We keep one quiet room in the house. No TV, no clutter. It's my recharge space. Calendaring. We map our energy levels. Green, yellow, red days. That way he knows when I'll be introvert toast. Social. We trade social tokens. If I go to 2 back-to-back events, he knows the third is his to solo. Money. We made a meaning spend bucket. That way I don't spiral with guilt about treating myself when it's tied to values. Basics. Sleep and food aren't optional. Skip them, and an INFJ crash doubles. Here's the repair tool that saved us. The 5-minute meaning first reset. We pause for 60 seconds of silence. He asks, "What did it mean to you when X happened?" I answer in 1 or 2 sentences. He mirrors it back, then adds one micro change. We check in 48 hours later. It's simple, but for INFJs, it works. It honors meaning, not just behavior. When you love an INFJ, you're signing up for paradox. Closeness and solitude, idealism and disillusion, depth and humor. But if you lean into those paradoxes instead of fighting them, you get one of the most loyal, visionary, and caring partners in the world. As an adult, I'm only just learning how much being an INFJ has shaped my life. But when I look back at the stories I share in the 2 a.m. code, it's clear. I was lost, searching for clarity I didn't yet have. Yet, if this video resonated, pick up the 2 a.m. code. It's my story of struggle, growth, and finding purpose. And I'm grateful to keep learning and sharing this journey with you. Watch next. 10 things you should never say to an INFJ or INFJs and emotional burnout. And drop a comment. What's the paradox you live with most? I'll use your stories to build part 2.